I did make a couple of mistakes in the purchasing side of things. Now, bear in mind, I was a sales agent at this point of time. And so I had this belief that I definitely do not have now, which was, all property is fine as long as you buy it at the right price, right? I also did not fully appreciate why you needed to do all your due diligence, which is something that you and I talk about and teach in your first home buyer guide. And I was hell bent on trying to time the market. Now, how often do we get asked, is now a good time to buy? When should we buy?
Oh, just about every other day, I think. Every time we run a workshop, every time we have listener questions, every time we have people who run into us at a barbecue.
Yep. So it's like, where to buy? Number one question. Second one, should I buy now?
Is now a good time?
Is now a good time? And there's an answer for that is, well, you buy when you're ready and you buy when you find the right property. But I was hell bent on trying to buy before the end of the year because I'd been through 2 cycles by this stage, in terms of our local area. And every area has a cycle, an annual cycle, right? So I've been through 2 seasonal cycles, but they're not market cycles. Yeah, exactly. So I thought I knew it all because I'd seen 2 seasonal cycles. And I knew that basically the property market slows down in spring and there's lots more stock. There's, compressed price growth. There's less competition. And I wanted to take advantage of that. But what that actually meant that I had a bias towards buying for the right timing rather than buying the right asset. And so I did buy a property that, did okay for me over time. It was a semi-detached house in a great street, right? And it was probably the worst house in the great street. But buying the worst house in the great street isn't always the best. Actually, it was the second worst house.
It's not always the winner.
It's the second worst house. It was the second worst house because the worst house was next door. And the worst house came to bite me in the bum. I feel like
there's a story there.
It came to bite me in the bum when I went to sell it. But anyway, that's for later on. So the mistakes that I made is that I was trying to be clever and time the market rather than focusing on the actual asset itself. And I did okay, but I could have done better. And the other mistake was that I did not properly do my due diligence. I didn't even know what I needed to know. And I was a sales agent, thought I knew it all.
Oh, that's such a classic, isn't it? And that's, I guess, the basis of us even putting together your first home buyer guide was you don't know what you don't know. So there you were, you're actually in the industry. You'd been a sales agent for 2 years. You'd watched 2 seasonality cycles, but actually hadn't been through any market cycles. It was all probably going the same direction in that whole time that you were selling, which was
up. It was hot.